right, so a bit of a range. We've got some newer journeyers or maybe explorers of this journey, and someone's later in the journey, which is lovely. So this class will be, or is designed and created for all bodies. And the encouragement will be to honor your body, tuning into your body and doing what feels good, leaving what doesn't feel good out. You always have the empowerment to offer yourself a variation, or I'll be offering variations too throughout the practice. If there is anything that would be supportive for me personally to know as I hold the space for your journey, feel free to, you can put it in the chat or private message me as well through here. I'll do my best to join further or join closer and then step back further throughout the class too. Let's see. I'll introduce myself now. I'm Lisa, and I'm currently calling from Toronto, which is the sacred land of many First Nations. And I gently land here with my partner and pup, so apologies if you do hear Juno at any point. I've told him that we're doing yoga right now and tried to get him to nap during this time. So with that being said, if you do have any other little ones or family members at home too, that might be in your space, allow that to be part of your practice. Everyday life, we're practicing at home too. So this is just, this is it. This is the practice. Those are those moments. Let's see, what else do I need to offer you? A little bit more about me. Let's go back to that. I've been teaching yoga for just over 6 years, primarily been sharing hatha yoga, restorative, prana-vinyasa, and a lot of hours with young people, so youth yoga, and really dipping into my calling to this work through prenatal yoga. If you're interested in any more offerings from me after today, you can join my website, lisacomran.com. I'll put it in the chat too at the end for you to check it out for some future events that I have as well. So let's begin, shall we? I'll move back towards my mat. And if you do have props, you can have them close by. Even if you have like throw pillows, something to keep you cozy, like a blanket, throw blanket, that's totally welcome too. I like to sit up on something like a pillow or a block as well to allow my hips to drop open. But if your hips are feeling open and your back is feeling supported just on your mat, you're welcome to hang there too. So the invitation now is just to find a comfortable way to land in your body, perhaps with an upright spine, but if that's not feeling like where you want to begin, you're welcome to just take something like a reclined posture that would be supported, or maybe child's pose too. That's always an invitation. So let's start by just taking a deep breath, maybe breathing in through the nose and maybe out through the mouth. And just notice what that feels like. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And you're welcome, if it feels supportive for you to do so, to soften your gaze or close the eyes even. And if not, you're welcome to keep the eyes open. But perhaps in this moment, the encouragement would be to allow your gaze to rest away from the screen. We get so much screen time, and we'll have plenty of screen time too during this class. So maybe just allowing this moment to Rest your eyes. There's nothing necessarily to look at or check out. And go ahead and bring your hands to belly to baby, wherever that feels comfortable for you. So it might be top of the belly, more towards the hips, towards the pelvis, or somewhere in between. And let's just take these next few moments to invite baby or babies into the practice. And maybe that feels just like offering a simple welcome. Maybe you tune into if there is any movement in belly or any sensations that might be present. And then tap into that breath. Maybe those audible exhales felt nourishing to you, so you take those sighs out. And just for a moment, notice any sensations in the body, whether that's beyond baby and belly, perhaps in the shoulders, the jaw, or the hips. And if anything feels like tension or tightness, welcome it. And if anything feels open and spacious, welcome that. So we're just flowing with our breath here in this moment. That's it. And I'll offer you the opportunity to create some sound with the breath as well. So we'll explore bee's breath, which is like a humming breath. And if that doesn't feel comfortable or feels too overwhelming, you're welcome to stay with that audible exhale out through the mouth with a sigh. So let's just take a cleansing breath in and out. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Here's a little hum, so deep breath in. Exhale with a Just take a cleansing breath, breathing in. Let it go. One more cleansing breath, deep breath in. Let it go. Another humming breath, deep breath in. Exhale to hum. Deep breath in. Let it go. And just tuning into any sensations, whether you were humming and feeling that vibration in the body or just listening and breathing. This audible sound of the breath can be such a powerful support for not just pregnancy, but everyday life. And so this encouragement during this journey is when you find moments of stress or tension in the body, tap into the sensations and offer a gentle, soothing sound, whether it's that ocean wave out or that hum. It's so natural for mamas to hum and to sing to their babies, and it's not as perhaps not as common as a mother and mother carrying a baby to get hum to or sing to. So just explore that too later on. And let's go ahead and find tabletop from here. So hands and knees. And the invitation is to bring the hands at a comfortable width apart from one another. That might be underneath the shoulders. It might be a bit wider or a bit further apart. And then same with the knees. So check out the knees when you do get there. It might be a bit further apart too for support. They might be underneath the hips or somewhere just behind. Creating space for you, creating space for baby. Go ahead and take one deep breath in. Exhale out. Another deep breath in this time. Exhale out to round through the upper back. So press through the palms. Allow the head weight to go. Gaze towards baby, towards belly. Pressing through the fingertips. And you can take a few breaths here. See if you can allow your head to get heavy. And if this feels like too much at any point, you can just come back to that neutral spine, gaze in between the palms. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Come back to that neutral tabletop and let's just sway the hips a bit side to side. And so this can be as organic as you'd like. You can go in hip circles, or sway side to side. You might mix in that cat if it felt good. The encouragement here is to keep the spine neutral in the low back. So we're basically creating space across the upper back and through the hips here. And perhaps through the shoulders as well. And choose your pace here. Tune into the breath. Go ahead and come back to a neutral tabletop. And let's meet in child's pose here. So a few different options. Toes can touch or toes can be apart. Allow your hips to sink back towards your heels. And here's where you have the opportunity, if you have any props, to rest underneath the heart center of the arms. So it might be a bolster, a blanket, or a block underneath the head. Create space for baby, create space for belly. And as you rest there, I'm just checking if there's anything in the chat. Awesome. And go ahead and take maybe 2 deep breaths here. And when you're here now, see if you can lengthen through the arms just a bit further, even if it's just you're imagining that you're reaching through the fingertips and sinking back through the hips. Take a deep breath in. Exhaling out. Claw through the fingertips to gently bring your heart forward. Come back into tabletop. Let's roll into puppy pose. So this is like downward facing dog, but staying on the knees. So if you have any heartburn happening, see if you can just walk your hands out a bit further, like an extended tabletop, and allow your head to either be neutral or gently hang down. If you'd like to go further into puppy pose, you can continue to walk your palms forwards and let your head hang or touch the mat. Another variation, if you do have blocks or bolster, you can rest your head space, forehead right down on that bolster. Your hips stay high. Wherever you're at, take a deep breath in and let it go. One more deep breath. Let's roll on forwards and walk the hands back up, tabletop. And just sliding any props out of the way. Let's get a couple of those hip circles. Maybe the hips back towards the heels. If child's pose is calling you at any point, you're always welcome to head there. So in this practice, we're playing with this balance of fluidity and then gently finding space to savor and rest. So if it's not like you, you're always welcome and invited to find stillness or find moments to rest. So let's come back through tabletop. Go ahead and raise your right hand up towards the sky and just take a few arm circles. So we won't be here for too long. Just reach it up, forwards and back and around. And if any circles feel too big, you can wave the arm just a bit lower and maybe take it out in front and to the side instead of up and around. Tap into that breath. Press through the left hand. Go ahead and drop that palm back down, tabletop. Let's just change sides. So opposite hand reaches up. I'm going to turn around on my mat, so I'm facing you. And take those circles. I'm hearing some echoing in the background, so I'm just going to ask everyone if they do have the mute button or mute capability to just press that, make sure that's pressed.
I read about how 20% of pregnant women are in ICU. So now the OBs are
one more time
for vaccine.
Let's head into child's pose for a moment. Sink the hips back. Let the head weight hang. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out.
Because you got to space it out with the Tdap vaccine.
Yeah.
Just the whooping cough one.
Oh, yeah.
You know, take the two vaccines.
And
Whooping cough.
sorry, I know I'm getting feedback, and I just messaged Janet to see if she would be able to support muting friends.
We're definitely not going to take the back early.
As we're in child's pose, and in tabletop, let's gently find our way into one more cow pose, rounding through the upper back. Finding table, beautiful. Okay, thank you, Janet. All right, just re-grounding myself, re-centering. Let's go ahead and sink the hips, but keep the heart up, just sitting back on our heels. And if this feels like too much to the knees or the thighs, the invitation is to come to an easy seat, or you can bring a block or bolster underneath your hips to sit down on. So we'll just play with a little bit of shoulder and neck circles. So if you have any neck stuff happening, be extra gentle and intuitive. Go ahead and drop the chin towards the heart space. Gaze goes down towards baby, towards belly. Then you're welcome to even place your palms on baby and belly. And go ahead and draw your chin over towards the right. So maybe gaze is down. Maybe it feels good to place the gaze neutral or up. Check that out. And then with that left palm, See if it feels okay to reach it out and down, like an upside down V towards your mat, or half V. And maybe it feels supportive to turn your gaze. Imagine that your fingertips are reaching and extending out. Check in with that breath. And let it go. And then gently drop the hand and come back to a neutral spine. Bring your head up gently. Awesome. Let's take our shoulders up by our ears. Slide them down the back and up again and down the back. Do that a few times. That feels as it feels good to you. And maybe the opposite direction. Check in with that breath. And allowing the shoulders to settle and taking the opposite ear over towards the shoulder. So left ear, left shoulder. And this time, right arm sweeps off to the right. And checking in with that gaze point. And if it feels too much for that right hand to be lifted, go ahead and rest that down. If you do have that right arm lifted, extend through the fingertips. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And slowly bring the head back up, right palm rests down. Go ahead and turn your palms up towards the sky or the ceiling, wherever you're at. And again, if sitting like this, you're feeling any tightness in the hips, you can always adjust or stand up on the knees if that would feel more supportive. And bringing your awareness to any sensations in the body, just for a breath. Nice. Let's go ahead and bring the hands to the upper shoulders. So my elbows are wide. And we're just going to take some circles, like we're drawing circles with our elbows. And it doesn't matter which direction you're going, just check it out. This always reminds me of like baking, like my mixer. Then go ahead and change directions. Tap into your breath. Go ahead and pause and bring your arms out to a T and cross one arm over the other, it doesn't matter which, and offer yourself a gentle hug or a gentle squeeze. Maybe you can massage the back of your shoulders if you reach there, or your arms if you're reaching arms. Just give your biceps a little squeeze. Deep breath in and out. All right, this time opposite. So reach the arms back and around behind you and catch the arms together. So maybe palms interlace, elbows stay bent. Maybe you catch opposite arms, forearms. If it would feel supportive for you, you're welcome to stretch the arms down, extending through them. And see if you can check this out by keeping your chin tucked in towards your chest. So gaze is either down or neutral, lifting the heart forward. So really focus on the heart center here. Allow the hips to be neutral or neutral-ish. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Nice. Go ahead and bring your palms out and around to your hip flexors. So almost right to pelvis and baby. Deep breath in. Exhale with a whoosh. Almost like you're brushing crumbs off of your thighs. You're sweeping your palms. Let's do this a few times. So deep breath in, palms to hip flexors. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. One more breath in. Go ahead and bring your hands down to your mat, tabletop, slide out any props underneath you. Let's get into these hips some more. So hiking or sliding, let's start with your right leg on the outside of your hands. So we're just coming into a low lunge here. You can check out the distance of where you want that foot to be. Maybe it steps out a bit or in a bit. Create space for baby and belly. Maybe that back knee, if it's giving you any sensations that don't feel great, here's where a blanket or doubling up your mat could feel really good to that back knee. If it's too much to have it down, go ahead and try lifting that back knee up. If that knee is lifted and you do have blocks, you can bring your hands to the blocks as well. So many options. Wherever you're at, deep breath in, deep breath out. See if you can allow your hips to sink rather than an active, think a bit passive. And if it feels okay on the hips, offer a gentle sway. So you might come on the outer edge, the blade of that left foot, or right foot, sorry. And see if you can keep your gaze a bit neutral, creating length through the back body. Breathe into your hips. And go ahead and start to slide the hips back towards the heel, half splits. So here's where we're gonna play with this. Extending through that left leg. You can leave a nice bend in the right knee or front knee. And you can leave a nice bend there. You can bring blocks along with you or any other prop to rest your hands down on. And if hands on the inside of that right foot feel supported for room for baby and belly, you're welcome to do that too. Flex through those front toes. Keep the hips off of the mat. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And let's just sway through these two just for a few breaths, and we won't go very deep. So it's a gentle sway forwards into that lunge, back into half splits. And you can hang out in any one if it feels good to just rest there for a few breaths. All right, when you find half splits, let's hang out here for 2 more breaths, flexing the right toes up. See if you can allow the gaze to come down towards baby, towards belly. Take a deep breath into the upper back, breathing in, creating space through the shoulder blades, and let it go. All right, let's come on back through center, meeting back up in tabletop, hands and knees. Go ahead and just sway the hips side to side. From here, this time let's walk our hands back up towards our knees and stand up on our knees. Now, if this feels like too much, here's where you place something underneath the knees, or you can always sit back on your heels as well. That might be a bit more of a stretch in the soles of the feet, so your choice on what you're looking for. Let's bring hands to hips and gently guide the hips forward-ish. And draw the shoulder blades down and together, like your shoulders are giving themselves a hug in the back body. And reaching the heart forward, Tuck that chin back in towards the chest. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's go ahead and reach the arms out and around, reaching up towards the sky, bringing hands to heart center. Let's do that again. Deep breath in, reaching up and around. Draw the heart through hands through heart center. All right. Float the hands back down. So whether that means shifting the hips back, hands back down, tabletop. And let's change sides. So left foot steps up on through the hands or on the outside of the hands for our low lunge. So take as many steps as you need to get there. And once you're there, it doesn't mean you're stuck. You're not glued. You can always shift and adjust. This practice is not stagnant. Even when we are in maybe exploring stillness, there's always movement happening. So just inviting you to explore that. And go ahead and sink into the hips a bit. So if you were using blocks or support, you're welcome to do that as well on this side. Check it out. You're welcome to come on the outer edge of that left foot. If you want to create some more space, check in with that knee though. If the knee is talking to you on either leg, let's offer some variations. So either placing something underneath that back knee or scooching that front foot in a bit. Allow your gaze to be down. Back body is long. Let's go ahead and shift back into half splits. So sway the hips back towards the heel. And then those front toes flex up. So this side might feel differently than the other. Check it out. Hands might be on the outside of the foot or on the inside of the foot to create space for belly. A nice bend in that front knee might be supportive as well. Tap into the rhythm of your breath. Let's flow here. If you'd like to join me, we'll come through that lunge and then come back through half splits. Inhale to reach forwards. Exhale to press back. And it doesn't have to be one breath, one movement. You're welcome to explore your breath to guide you. Then you might take a few breaths in one posture. That's great too. Let's go ahead and meet in half splits, so shifting our hips back, flexing through those front toes. And I like to imagine just like scissoring the thighs towards one another. And it's a very gentle action. Allow the gaze to be down, perhaps towards that front knee or towards baby and belly. And let's roll back through tabletop. So through the lunge and then stepping or sliding back into tabletop. All right. So we're going to make our way up into a standing. So I'm going to give a few variations. If folks are feeling great with downward dog, you're welcome to tuck the toes, lift the hips, head weight hangs, and then step the feet up as you'd like to downward dog. If downward dog is not part of the practice today for you, all is well. Let's step one foot up and then the other, coming into kind of a low squat and then making your way up into standing, taking all the time that you need. This is not about being graceful or being definitely not about being perfect or right or wrong. It's your body. That's what's right. Just what you need. And so once you get to the top of your space or mat, go ahead and find a space that feels good for the feet to be apart. So it might be hips distance or it might be a bit wider. Finding mountain, bring your hands facing forwards. Allow your gaze to soften. If eyes closed feels okay for you, you're welcome to explore that. Imagine your shoulder blades hugging together at the back side of the body, and shoulders roll down and away from the earlobes. If eyes are open, maybe just gaze down at baby and belly for a moment. Take a deep breath in and let it go. So we're going to play with something that I call treading breath. And with this idea of fluidity, it makes me think of water. So we'll explore this. And the key is here, finding a stable stance. Check in with low back and pelvis and try to keep those at a neutral or stable stance. So we're not flexing through the low back. We're looking just to create some length and space and focus on the upper body here. So we'll take a, let me play with this. So let's bring our hands out in front of us, reaching out. I call this like a zombie when I'm working with the young ones, just because they love this, but reaching out in front of you, palms facing down towards the earth. And deep breath in. Exhale out like we're swimming, like a breaststroke. So palms reach opposite directions, back behind the body. Take a breath in, reaching arms out to a T. Exhale, palms come together in front of the body, rounding to the upper back. So deep breath in, palms reach away, swimming back behind you. Exhale, turn the palms back towards one another, rounding through the upper back. Maybe gaze turns downwards towards belly. Take this at your own pace. So your arms might be firing. If it feels like too much at any point, you can rest your hands down in mountain or connecting to baby. See if you can move through just a bit slower, like there's resistance in water, or perhaps like you're moving through something thicker like honey. Yawning the heart open with each inhale. And slowly rounding, opening the upper back with each exhale. If the arms are feeling tired and you're still with me, use your breath as a guide. All right, the next time your arms flow back behind you, go ahead and reach for the palms. Maybe interlace opposite hand on top this time, so it might feel a bit awkward, just to change it up. Elbows may stay bent, or you might extend the palms down the back body. They might reach off slowly and gently. Try and keep your gaze neutral or slightly down. Drawing the heart center up, creating space, space, space in the front and back side of the body. Deep breath in and let it go. All right, gently unwind, allow the palms to rest down, just hang in mountain pose. And notice any sensations present. So there might be a story starting in the mind, whether it's about the body or anything else happening in your surroundings, and see if you can allow it to just be a gentle awareness. This is this moment. Welcome, welcome body, welcome mind. All right, let's come to the side of our mat. So lengthwise, stepping out to a T. So your arms are a bit wider and feet are a bit wider than hips distance apart. And if that is feeling like if you're quite far along in your journey and it's feeling like there's a lot of pressure downwards, which is totally great. But if it feels like too much to have the feet wide, you can bring them just a bit closer together too. Importance here is that we're nourishing our hips and choosing a distance that doesn't put too much strain on them. So arms reaching out. Imagine you're reaching out towards opposite sides of the space. And go ahead and flip the palms up towards the sky. So now imagine that you're drawing your thumbs back behind the body towards one another. Gently reaching the heart up. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's go ahead and flip the palms down. Bring them back either to baby or to hips. So we're going to find a gentle squat here. So turning the feet out opposite directions. Kind of like duck feet. And then gently start to sink the hips. So this doesn't have to be super low. If it feels good to go a bit deeper, you're welcome to do so. We're going to be here for a few breaths though. So you choose your adventure here. And you can always come out and just stand with long legs rather than bent knees as well at any point. So hands might be at belly or on hips. And we're going to play with what I call a sunrise breath or sunset breath. So we'll take our arms, sweep them. Let's start with our right arm. Let's sweep it over to our left, reach it up and around towards the sky and down towards the hip or towards baby. And then we'll change sides. Left hand sweeps up and over to the right, up and around and down. Let's integrate the breath here. At any point, if you want to stand up and do the same motion, you can. Breathing in, up and around, exhale out. So breathing in, down and out. And you'll just change sides here. Wherever you're at, press into those feet, creating groundedness, creating roots and strength. Let's do one more each side. You've got it. If you're with me, go ahead and unbend those knees. Turn the toes back forward. So stay in the same orientation on your mat. And maybe just bounce the knees or sway the hips side to side. You might offer a gentle stretch, reaching back through the hip, or take the hips in circles, semicircles. Check in with the breath. All right, let's go ahead and find this neutral stance once again, and let's turn our right toes out to the right. We're heading into warrior B. So right toes out to the right, bend into that right knee, and then check out with that left leg, if it would feel more comfortable and spacious to bring the left foot in a bit, you can, or out a bit. And maybe out and to the left would be supportive. So hips are facing open to the left-ish. And see if you can now sweep the arms open up to a T. Turn the gaze over towards that right hand or those right fingertips. Press through the feet. So it's like reaching the mat out opposite directions, creating some sturdiness through the hips. And if at any point it feels like too much, you can gently unbend that front knee. In fact, let's play with that. So reaching the arms open to a T, take a deep breath in. Exhale to unbend the knees and bring the hands to heart center or towards baby. Inhale, open, reach arms, bend knee. Exhale to lift, hands to baby. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more this time. Inhale, reach and hold here. Warrior two. Bring that left hand down and around to baby and belly. Reaching right arm, still extending towards the right or out to the right. Go ahead and flip the palm and reach it up like you're throwing something back behind you. Reach it up and around, up towards the sky. Maybe gently back past the right ear. Press through the feet. Deep breaths. Gently bring that right hand down and around to meet baby. Extending through that right leg. Let's play with triangle here. So bring your hands to your hips and maybe slightly bring that left foot in a bit. So here's where if you do have a block or something with height, it could be supportive. We're gonna shift the hips over to the left and think heart open. So as you journey down with that right hand towards that right foot, it might land somewhere in the thigh, the calf, or towards a block on the inside or outside of the right foot. Take that left hand still on that left hip, press through the feet. Heart is open-ish or opening. And check in with that neck. If gaze down, neutral, or up would feel more supportive to the body. Play with that. All right, press through that right knee. Let's stand back up, all the way back up into strong T, arms open to a T. And let's change sides here. So we're going to turn our left toes out to the left. Bend into the left knee, warrior B. Pressing through the feet like we're reaching out, extending opposite directions through the fingertips. Pressing through the outer edge of that back foot, and check it out. This side might feel different than the other, so you might step that right foot in or out a bit, your choice. All right, let's play with that dancing warrior. So deep breath in, exhale, hands to heart center or baby as we extend that knee. Deep breath in and reach. Out as we come in. In and reach. Out. Few more times here. In and reach. Out. In and reach. In and reach. Last one. Hold here. Warrior B. All right. Bring right hand to baby, to belly. Left hand flips up towards the sky. Reach it up towards the sky. Maybe back slightly. Press through the feet. Reach up through the palm. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Extend through that left palm once again, reaching out to a T. Bring the right arm to join out to a T. Lengthen through that left foot. So we're heading into triangle. So you might step that right foot in a bit. As you bring the hands to hips, start to shift that right hip out to the right and travel down with the left arm. Heart open. You might join in with a prop on the left side underneath the left hand. Wherever that left hand lands, press through the feet for support. Rounding open through the heart space. Maybe left hand reaches up towards the sky. Deep breath in, deep breath out. All right. Right hand, if it's up towards the sky, bring it out and around and towards belly and hip. Press through the feet to stand all the way back up. Bring the feet towards one another. Maybe step them in, walk them in. Let's find mountain. So deep breath in. Exhale up through the mouth. Check in with any sensations present. So we're gonna start to find our way back down towards our mat. So whether that means finding a forward fold, creating space for baby and belly, if you are reaching the arms out in front of you rather than down towards the feet. If forward fold doesn't feel great, you can find this nice squat, sinking the hips back, and then bringing hands to mat, stepping the knees and feet back. Wherever you find yourself, let's find our hips on the mat. So if you do have a prop, you're welcome to sit up on that prop, or you can sit right on the mat. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. So knees are out wide. Another option here is if you do have additional props like throw pillows or blankets, blocks, you can always rest them underneath your thighs for extra support. Wherever you're at, take a deep breath in and let it out. Check in with the shoulders, see if they can soften down and away from the ears. If hands at shins feels great, you can leave them there, or feet, or connecting with baby and belly. Tuning into any sensations. And go ahead and start to bring the knees towards one another, your feet a bit wider, and just sliding off any props if you were on them. And bring your hands back behind you. So fingertips might face towards your bum, or they might face away. And bring your feet wider like the mat. So we're placing our weight in our hands. So you might place a soft bend in the elbows and just sway the knees side to side. So we're winding down our practice and going into relaxation for the last 5 minutes. So the invitation here is to find a posture that would feel comfortable for you. So whether that means extending the legs and lying down on your back with support, perhaps underneath the back body with a bolster. Perhaps it means resting on your side body with pillows and bolsters. Or it might mean finding a comfortable seat. If you do happen to have blocks, you might place them underneath your bolster for an inclined support. The key for this practice here is to find somewhere that you feel safe, find somewhere that your body feels supported and comfortable. I'm going to stay seated from here, and we'll just be here for about 3 minutes in this resting. And so we'll play with some humming breath, some bees breath, and some songs from my sound bowl, my singing bowl. So wherever you land, let's take a cleansing breath in. Sigh, let it go through the mouth. And if those humming breath or bees breath felt nurturing to you, you're welcome to join me, or you might just listen and start to melt. Breathing in. Just becoming aware of any sensations in the body, welcoming them as they are as you rest. Allowing the sound and vibration of the sound nurture you, nurture baby. Allowing the movement, breath work, and this energy to vibrate beyond your mat, beyond your practice, throughout your day and throughout your week. Finding space and moments to just tune in and savor this gift, this journey. Just offer some gratitude to this baby that you are carrying, or babies. And then offering gratitude for yourself for showing up, for being present and tuning in. And just taking any stretches or bringing awareness back into the body. If you are lying down, taking all the time that you need to gently find your way up to a seated posture. And when you do get there, or if you decide to stay lying down, that's totally fine too. Just bringing one hand to baby and one hand to belly. Or one hand to belly and one hand to heart. And gently allow the gaze to be down. Taking a deep breath in and deep breath out. And rubbing the hands together, just creating some heat. Another deep breath in and out. Bringing the hands directly to baby. And from my heart, directly to each of yours and your young ones. Thank you so much for showing up and being present with me. It's an absolute honor. And thank you, Yoga Mamas, too, for hosting me and creating this space. So if anyone is interested in practicing with me more, you can find me at lisacameron.com, LISAKAMERON.